Everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 14. This is going to be probably a pretty quick series. It's Descara versus somebody new we've not seen on the channel before, 215Jesse. On Battlefy, I think his name was Expert Marksman, so that caused a bit of confusion earlier, but... Descara going to play Galzian. We often see him do this when he feels pretty, confident about the matchup. Let me find our info.txt here. Yeah, he takes Galzian first, Jesse picks Sawan, and then it's going to be Boneyard. And then game 2 will be Konef versus Sawan on Kalash Teeth. And then there's a little note here saying, okay, he said he didn't know the math, so I took the most vanilla shiz. Good, good. I like it. Gotta love Descara. We got a probe out already for Jesse. I tend to prefer sending the probe out after you have your SC started, if that's the plan. But actually, he's gotten the LAV started here. So. And for Descara, it's going to be ref mode first. He's doing this with the 6 Salvager build, though. Actually, a little surprised we don't see him pull one of these guys over onto the second base. But like the point is, generally, you don't really want too many RUs here, so you know you've not got a way to use them, so you send it over to the second base to long distance mine. And I've been championing the ref mode first build, where you get terrible hiccups. Oh my gosh. The ref mode first build, where actually you only build 5 salvagers anyway. Like you just build 1 out of the carrier, retire the PC, the base runner. Don't retire the PC, and then you get ref mode started. But in this case, yeah, we're gonna see he pulls the 2 RU guys off, and then he's gonna take them over here and mine CUs first. Probe goes down, by the way. That can always be nice. And actually, base runner retires from Jesse here, and then he's going to rebuild it, so... That's a little bit curious. Yeah, no, the reason I said that was good you were doing that is because that's a real build, you know? I mean, look, this is what Descara's doing, so... But yeah, we'll see what Jesse can do. If you're a new player and you're up against one of the best in the game, I'd say just try to do some, like, funny crap and just see what you can pull off. Just enjoy it, because, you know, you're not going to beat Descara, but you can at least, you know, have some fun with it, so... Sandscammer going to come out here, finds the LAVs. So he'll know that that's being built. But Descara has his 2 PC set up, but you can at least beat A-Game, yeah, that's true. Just washed up freaking has-been. Anyway... Yeah, didn't A-Game do that to Sukai Jin in the last tournament? That was a good one. That was a good series. Amazingly, you know, this Sandscammer actually survives. Could see the targeting jammer get deployed to try and kill this thing, but... Oh, it's gonna run afoul of the ALM here, so that'll spell its doom. Another ALM deployed, actually, to secure the kill, which definitely he didn't need, but that's alright. SC is out, which is nice. So, 215Jesse gonna try to move up onto his 2 base now. And it looks like a Soldier Fat from Descara. This is actually really just how he likes to play on Galzian. He's really been a fan of Soul Chips forever. Alas, well, I'll see you later. You were here to watch Majir stomp you, so you know that was worth it. If I would wake up at more reasonable times, maybe we could have done the whole thing with A-Game here. Send me lines. I need lines. Just Carrier has always wanted to be a professional actor, you know? So he's always asking people to give him lines to read. LAV Beloved gonna find the Sandscammer. This will be a favorable trade for him. He does manage to take out all of them, actually, so that's pretty nice. And he's got the artifact picked up as well. Would be nice to see him go for the extractor. Yeah, where what you mean is you keep asking people and they keep ignoring you, right? Assault pack teching right now. Interceptor Fab on the queue for Descara. Yeah, I can't speak for it. I just know he's new to the channel. I haven't seen him play DOK ever before, so I'm just kind of assuming. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, it's worth an attempt. The thing is, Jesse's on like 2 base. A bit debatable because like it's hard to position the carrier, but he's on 2 base, and Descara's on 3. You know, and this just kind of happens generally when like a new player plays. It's hard to know the timings for getting up on bases, but this really will feel like a pretty easy game for Descara because he just kind of sits here and builds up an eco lead. It's not the case that macro is just the best way to play. But it is the case that if you're not going to play that way, you've got to find some way to punish your opponents just going macro, right? And, you know, that's hard to do against somebody like Descara, but especially if you're new to the game. It's not clear that that's really even necessary at all. Now you're sounding like Phoenix. It's good music. Here come the interceptors. Base runner heal can be used here, by the way. This fight should be pretty easy to win. It's gonna take the EV down to 17 health, but just barely doesn't quite die. Assault Chip is trying to run up onto the main base here. It might actually kill... No, it's not gonna kill the railgun. But yeah, you skip Afterburner here because you want to just get the interceptors out faster. But you see, he is gonna get that tech eventually. The first attack of the interceptors is really a crucial one, though. You want to have that reveal be strong, so definitely this is actually the way to go. Not so good to hit on the support cruiser, though, I don't think. Not unless you can kill it. He might have the damage here. Alright, I take it back. I should never doubt Descara. He knows what he's doing. I was thinking with that first volley hitting on the salvagers, though, he wouldn't be able to do this, but looks like he's got it figured out. And none of the interceptors goes down. He's actually got 6, so there's another one out here as well. And yep, it's gonna be peanut bombers. Yeah, you can. But I feel like a player like Descara just kind of knows he'll be able to micro it better, so he's pretty confident to take that first reveal before he has Afterburner done. And it's finished now. But, you know, that really is the difference between really good airplay and really bad airplay, is like knowing what target you want to hit, not wasting missiles, and not losing units. And doing all 3 of those is pretty hard, you know. If you've ever tried to do it, it's like air is maybe the most mechanically intense thing in DOK. But, you know, Descara makes it work. So he gets the support cruiser off the main. Jesse's built another one, he can go replace that, but still the damage is done. And there will probably be more. So if you're Jesse right now, you're trying to scramble to get anti-air, but he's actually just building more support cruisers, which is kind of interesting. I think what he needs really is missile batteries, right? The railgun gets taken out, by the way. And these air units are starting to stack up some real value. Base runner gonna fall as well, but this is kind of close. Well, actually, you know, I take it back. That's a pretty big deal, because you can drop the anti-air turret posts and try and keep yourself alive that way. This interceptor takes quite a bit of damage, but Scar will get the dock off on it. And looks like the support cruiser will be the target here. I don't think the interceptor is going to finish it themselves, but here comes the ground army to finish the kill. And this is what happens, you know, you kind of lose everything. It's very, very tough to fight against this if you haven't seen it before. if you're actually good with air, which I'm not, right? I've said that a million times, I'm sure. So I don't want to sound prideful whatsoever here. But if you're actually good with air, you can make this kind of thing happen and just totally terrorize your opponent. I've had good air games, but I've had some real bad ones too. I think I shouldn't even have to say it. I think everyone knows that. And yeah, Jesse's just gonna... Well, either he GG'd or he died. I actually can't tell, because it doesn't say it on the side. But Descara will take game 1, no surprises there. And we'll jump into game 2. Yeah, but who would ever do that? Who would ever do that? Like launching the 3 bombers and then ignoring the railgun blob and then getting no damage onto a PC. But who would ever do that? I'm certainly not any good player, you know. I've got a stack of 12 pencils on my desk. Anyway, for game 2, it's gonna be different. Jesse grabs Conf. Descara gonna play Sawan, and the map pick is gonna be from, well, I guess actually it was from Descara apparently, but it's Collage Teeth. You have 69,000 channel points. Nice. Well, if only you could actually, you know, do something with them. Maybe one of these days I'll do something. See, you highlighted the message, but I can't even see it until I go onto OBS Studio. So that's not even very helpful. Maybe if I had a different chat overlay, I'd be able to see it. We'll see what the build is this time. Jesse's got Sandstormer Fab done. And it's SC first from Descara. Here's LAV Fab. He'll fire the probe out. The usual. Depressed potato. Does that cost channel points too? It costs 90. Jeez. That's like more than 10.
Enemy contact on sensors. Ready update. Enemy sand skimmer on approach.
Well, it looks like we do have a blast drone building. I always like to see that. You want to have it on the side because then the units don't have to move. They have to drop off at the edge of the carrier, which means that if they're in the middle of it, then they'll have to move out to the edge. So, yeah, having it on the side is better. But the real best thing to do before you have ref mode is to have it angled so that, like, first off, you can build salvagers that are already pointing out to the second base, but if it's set up like this, such that the furthest away guys can drop off, then you have less distance to cover if you're long distance mining. Blast drone's here, by the way. You don't really have any other aggressive units though, so it's just gonna be a hit on the base runner, which doesn't really do much. Kind of interesting to see Descara use the TJ here. You would have thought he would put that on the base, because that's kind of the only real threat. But base runner just gonna smoke and try and get out of here now, and it should be fine. But ref mode comes out for Jesse. Descara is already up on 2 base, and he's probably moving to 3. You can see that SD come out. So once again, not really any punishment for the macro play by Descara, and he's just kind of going to be ahead for free here. LAV's gonna shoot up that sand skimmer in mid. They do get the kill. And this time we have a tech for Jesse already. It's gonna be assault railguns, which is pretty good. But again, I think that fighter and gunship is probably the play for Descara. Looks like he'll go AVs instead though. But yeah, ref mode finishes for Jesse now. This LAV here is kind of overstayed his welcome in mid. But actually he gets away, so that's fine. The Space Runner is admiring his handiwork. Yeah, Descara's up on 3. And he's got AV Fab almost done now. The assault railguns are some threat, but it just seems like they're not really being used very aggressively, so he's just gonna enjoy his 3 base here. And Descara will see that assault ship tech isn't done, so he doesn't have to worry about air. Of course, the weird thing about Conf, you can't see when they have air tech, but a PC will pop here, and that may kill the probe.
Enemy unit detected.
Yep, looks like the probe will die here.
Ready. Enemy contact on the board.
And Descara's gonna start teching railgun fab.
Carrier copies.
Yeah, it just seems like a pretty standard game for him. Nothing terribly surprising here.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach. Light attack vehicle under fire.
This extraction will probably get out. Worst case scenario, you can use the smoke here, right? So... Ooh, he really wants to use it here, though. Never mind. He'll get it out anyway. It's still kind of nice to delay for a bit of time using that ability, but...
Base runner eliminated.
These 2 AVs are trying to get to the front line, but they are definitely very slow.
Enemy signature identified.
You can go rails and armor? We gotta tell Arik about this. He'd be really interested. Interesting, he doesn't delete the TJ. He just uses the smoke to kind of get around the timing where he's like weaker here. Maybe he's really trying to keep that targeting jammer up for later. But yeah, he'll kill the heavy railgun pretty quickly here. That's the important one to get. And even the LAVs joining in here, it's actually a pretty well coordinated fight by Descara. And I think this is a assault railgun popping out here, but it should be short-lived. Indeed, AV's having some AoE. I think they can even hit it before it comes out of the PC. So that'll die. And Descara should be able to just kill off this PC entirely, which is always a pretty big loss. So, you know, you don't easily come back from taking a PC out. Or sorry, from having a PC be taken out. You know. Even just the LAV is going to be committed to take this out. And here come the railguns. Again, still driving through 2 TJs now. He's not seemingly very concerned about it. Heavy Vehicles Armor 3 is finishing, by the way. That's going to be great for the AVs and for the railguns. But these 2 actually are not going to be able to get too much done here. There's a lot of defense. It's more on this side that Descara can get some damage done. But here he just needs to distract his opponents like the other attack can work. 1 AV goes down, smoke can be used here. And here come the railguns. He'll like to get Mag XL too, because he is fighting against enemy railguns, but the big point is that when you have Armor 3, you pass a break point where your opponent has to take an extra shot to kill you, so that's actually really nice in a railgun war. Basically means that these Soban railguns are like equal in tankiness to the Galzium ones in a sense, because they don't have Mag Accelerator yet. And you can see there's only 1 heavy railgun in the match here, so 3-on-1, you decide. It's definitely gonna go to the Soban player. Yeah, terrible, right? Terrible. Smoke being deployed here actually to get the AVs up closer, but this might actually hurt Descara more than it helps him, surprisingly. I don't know, anyone's guess. Really, the play would have been using the targeting jammer, though, I'm sure. But that's okay. He pretty easily wins the railgun fight there. See a little flank coming into the Conf carrier as well. Did you mention Joke Patch again? I swear. Oh, there's a missile ship. Soban rails do sound pretty good, don't they? Yeah, this should just be like a total life period. So, yeah, he agrees. Time to head out. But you're right, not until he hits him with that fadeaway missile. You gotta love it. But yeah, Descara will take the 2-0. It's definitely the expected result. But, you know, Jesse played pretty well too. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll move on to the next one.